Praise the Lord.
You good? Yeah, Dave?
So,
Okay.
Still good?
All right. So I'm going to welcome Lou, and I'm going to take some questions and answers now. So, and Bonnie, did you have a question? Excuse me?
I have a question.
Yeah.
Hi, Lou. Thank you so much for coming.
You're welcome.
One of our other speakers, as passionate as you are as well, got through with his speech and everything, but then he said, now I don't want you going out and taking somebody off the street. We have safety to consider, etc.
Yeah.
So is there a clearing safety mechanism in helping someone have a time in a home with a bedroom and clean facilities? Is there a clearing area for that? Would that be needlepoint?
No, Needlepoint is a mutual aid organization, so we are volunteer based. We get all of our money through grants and donations, and not big fancy grants, like small grants. And we focus on people who are in active use and who are experiencing houselessness. If those people want to be connected to resources, we do connect them to resources. And we do house certain community members that we've had like a long-standing relationship with in little periods of time. But the thing I think that that person was probably trying to communicate is that if a homeless person is not ready to become a housed person and to reintegrate into society, then you are probably going to end up in a really just traumatic and all-around bitter situation with someone that you probably wanted to help out in the beginning, because if a person's not focused on that, then they might lie, they might do other things, and it's like, as much as you want to blame them, maybe hopefully you can have some sympathy for someone that's in that situation that thinks that they can only ever survive in that situation, and is therefore going to move through the world in that situation. I'm not saying that every homeless person's going to take advantage of you. A lot of them will be just straight up with you and say no, I don't want your help. I don't need anything. But a lot of the times when I talk to people who are like, oh yeah, I used to help out a homeless person, and then XYZ happened, it's always it's up to you. It's up to you and your boundaries and how much you're willing to help people. And that's kind of why we recommend that you don't pick up someone off the street, because what they need is something that is reasonably and logically only going to be something that they can provide for themselves when they're ready, and to go out and get those resources. I think some areas have a definite larger lack of resources than others. For example, Portland has a great recovery community and a great network of mutual aid resources. But that doesn't mean that there isn't nothing in Bangor. I think it's called Better Homes or something. I don't know. There's different organizations that exist out there that we could point people to if they wanted to get off the street. The shelters take some people, not all people. I don't know. I hope that answered your question. There's a lot of things keeping people on the street, so I can go into that if anyone else has questions about that.
Could you speak a minute about the, I don't know the acronym, the Coalition on House?
GBHC?
Yeah, that's the one.
Yes. To be honest, GBHC I view purely as an extension of Needlepoint Sanctuary. Needlepoint Sanctuary has done the majority of the work in the community that GBHC advertises and says that they provide. So I actually was the mobile homeless outreach person. So last summer and fall and spring, basically last year, I went out to a ton of encampments all throughout the city and behind the Hope House. That's where the main encampment is right now. But yeah, I built relationships with all of those people, and I brought supplies to them on a weekly basis, multiple times a week. GBHC has been involved in that too, because we get organizers in that realm, but we're kind of looking to separate from that for a time being without also leaving them totally hanging. That's a separate thing, but yeah, I mean, I could talk about GBHC, but I'd really be talking about Needlepoint because we do a lot of their work, provide a lot of their supplies, train a lot of their volunteers in our knowledge, which, our knowledge is not just Narcan and harm reduction, but it is also wound care, because it's hard for people sometimes to get medical attention. And we pass out things like tampons, soap, and mostly just look for creative ways to meet people's needs, I guess. Like, it's been really, really rainy, so we've been trying to figure out how to provide tarps and like dry bags for people so that their stuff doesn't get wet. It's just based on what is happening at the time. We kind of respond to those needs. But yeah, we do that through GBHC and Needlepoint, both. I don't know if, sorry, just one more thing to add. In Bangor, I don't know if you have noticed the correlation between addiction and homelessness, but it's an X, like it's very intertwined. So inherently our organizations are like that.
So it sounds like perhaps one of the things that churches can do is to provide items that Needlepoint Sanctuary can use to distribute. If you are in a position to do distribution, what would you say are the items that you would mostly like to receive, and where do you receive them?
So yeah, that's mainly what we do, is we do distribution, and that would be great. Items, like I said, like toiletries, so soaps, deodorants, toothbrush, toothpaste, all of the above. Clothing items can be useful, but that can also get to be like a little bit of an overload, so I say clothing with an asterisk. If it's a nice piece of clothing that you think someone would like a winter coat, a rain jacket, something that would normally be expensive or hard to get your hands on, definitely want that. If it's just someone's stuff, we have plenty of just random clothes. But we also appreciate bags. I don't know if you've ever seen the cheap drawstring bags that they sometimes sell at the dollar store, but bags for people to carry people to carry stuff in. I think I already said tampons, but yeah, just things along the lines. I mean, if you were socks. Socks are a big one. Socks and underwear if you're gonna do clothing. And yeah, I mean, that's great. If there's also, if you want to provide food of any kind, stuff like granola bars are really helpful. We can hand those out to people and they'll carry them with them. Water bottles, we always need water to hand out to people. Soda's always a nice treat. I don't know if there's any way you can provide hot food, but we're always just looking for food help, basically, because that's sort of the last thing that gets ticked off, where it's like, okay, feeding people is important, but we are literally doing a million other different things. So supplies would definitely be helpful, but more helpful, honestly, would be food support. If you just granola bars and hot food, if that's somehow possible, or sandwiches, people will complain, but they'll take them. Just because they get sandwiches all the time, whatever. It's the life. People shouldn't complain about food. I'm sure they're very grateful deep down, but it's hard. So yeah, and I mean, my speech, I try to just focus though on small things that you can do all personally as individuals, because the church helping out and drop off point. You can drop it off at the Unitarian Universalist Church downtown yonder. Yeah, churches have always helped us out. So we appreciate the help, but yeah, I mean, even just looking at homeless people more as people, and less as the crises or things to harvest anything from, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, that would be nice overall in general. Or the guy begging on the side of the street. Maybe you don't want to look and say hi because you feel awkward because you don't want to give money. But even if you don't give money or anything, waving and saying hi and smiling, acknowledging someone's existence, it does mean something. They're not going to all of a sudden come to your window and start banging on it. They'll probably wave back and smile.
Okay.
We work with Columbia Street Baptist Church for the Sunday meal.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't seem like there are a lot of homeless people. I would say it's maybe 5 or 10% that come. Are they aware of that meal at noontime on Sundays?
So there's probably a good amount of people that don't know about it. Right? One of the things that GBHC actually specifically did, thanks to Brian, one of our great members, we compiled a map of the city with a ton of resources. So I'm pretty sure we probably had the Columbia Street meal on there. And we passed those out to people. We need to update it because it's been a while. But yeah, definitely. I think part of it is probably lack of awareness. And then the other part of it is, I'm not sure if you know what the reputation for your church is on the street, but that can. Is it good? Okay, sorry, I don't know. I have no idea. It's just like if a place has a bad reputation for whatever reason, like people aren't gonna go there. You know what I mean? But like, no, I can't imagine. Like, I can't imagine why they would. I feel like it is just a lack of awareness. But we can spread that word. You said it was on Sunday? Sunday at noon. Okay, Columbia Street.
And, well, don't yell. Faith Linking in Action. Rick said FLIA. That's the acronym, the simple name, is compiling, and we'll have on our website early this next week a listing of all of the places that you can get free food in the Bangor area, and it includes all the way down to Hamden, Orrington, up to Orono, and I think even to Levant area.
Good.
So it's covering the whole thing, and there's going to be an article in the newspaper about it and that sort of thing. We're going to try and keep it up to date every week, which means that we have somebody who their only thing is that one day they sit down and they are on the phone talking to people and or emailing and pestering, have your hours changed,
Right.
days changed, etc. What you're offering changing.
That's awesome. I will definitely look to that as a reference and reference other people to that because that's very helpful.
How will you get it
It's on the net. And
It's on the web, so
On the
I can
web,
access it
so-
from a computer, a phone, anything.
Yeah.
And I can also show it to other people and tell them to access it from it. Like compilations of information are actually so helpful. Like
Yeah.
that is a very
So-
powerful list. So thank you.
when you guys update the pamphlet that you guys do out, just stick on there faithlinkinginaction.org.
Yeah.
That's the address.
Mhm.
Okay?
Thank you so much. Anyone else?
Do we have any other questions? David?
Yes.
You've given a little bit of advice about dealing with folks who are on the corner with their signs, treating them as human beings. Don't look away. But I guess I'll sort of be blunt. Would you give them money?
Yeah, I do. I give them money and cigarettes when I have it. I don't care what they spend their money on. I've been homeless. I've also been an addict. And I understand why people end up in those circumstances. And people, that's what I mean. So that's a great example, actually. If I give someone money and I am like, wait, no, I don't want to give them money. I'm going to give them food. Because if I give them money, they might go spend it on drugs or alcohol. It's like, I'm not going to tell someone how to be homeless. Like, until you've been homeless, I don't think you really understand how awful it is. And disintegrating of the soul is really the only way to put it. And by saying, oh, I want to give you food, not money, because you don't know what to do with your money. It's like I'm imposing my own will on somebody else. I am helping them, but I'm helping them to make myself feel better, really. Or like I'm not helping them because I'm not helping them based on anything that they're asking for. I'm just kind of like coming in and impeding and being like, oh yeah, take my hot food. And it's like, that person's gonna probably take it because they have to, but they're definitely gonna pick up on your attitude about it. So I give people money, I give people cigarettes, like I just give people what I have on me, and they always appreciate it. And I just give it to them knowing that they're gonna do with it what they will. And to be honest, there's a hustle in everything. You can trade anything for anything, so no matter how you think you're controlling someone, I promise you you're not. And yeah, I don't know. I think looking away is very unchristlike.
There was a popular song, I don't know, 20 or 30 years ago about, looking away and how dehumanizing that was.
Mm-hmm. There is, I promise you, I've seen them all.
Anyone else have a question for Blue? Well, that may not seem like many questions you got, but you gave a lot of information in a short period of time.
Thank you. I'm good at rambling.
So I want to thank you, unless we have anything else. Thank you for your time today.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome. And I'd love to come back anytime. I don't know. I think sometimes people need like a second to be like, okay, can I ask this like scalding question? So yeah, if anyone wants to see me back here and has scalding like questions, or I don't know if there's a way that I can offer myself and my time to people one-on-one, but I really like talking to people about this stuff. I really like hearing people where they're at and meeting them where they're at and just hearing like, all right, this is what you believe and what you see about the situation, and just like providing my perspective, because I think there's a lot of common ground between people, even people that, I think just might be afraid. It's a scary thing. Like, it's all like very horrible and very sad to look at just from appearance. So, I have understanding.
Are you willing to share your last name or not?
Oh yeah, Helwig, Blue Helwig.
Can you spell that?
Hellwig. Yeah.
And you look beautiful next to the flowers.
Thank you. I know I ended up matching. It's great. Thank you. Yeah. Yes. Oh, thank you. I have kind of been looking for a church, so. Yeah, exactly. Oh my gosh. Well, thank you guys so much. You were all so nice. You're all so sweet.